Hey Kipsters, so today was lesson 10 in geometry and we talked about decomposing angles. So we talked about how to break up one larger angle into smaller angles. And we did that today using shape blocks, pattern blocks that show the measures of the degrees in each of the corners. And we use them to put them together to make other angles. So let's take a look at this first problem. It says points A, B, and C form a straight line. So we know a straight line equals 180 degrees. And we need to figure out which shapes we can combine in the middle there to put together to equal 180 degrees. And so I'm going to start by picking maybe this rhombus. So I'm going to set it up. And it looks a little bit like this. And I know that this angle is 60 degrees because it says it here. And I'm trying to make it all the way around to 180. So I know that 60 degrees plus 60 degrees gives me 120 degrees. So I'm going to draw a triangle. And how many more degrees do I need to complete my circle? Well, 60 plus 60 equals 120. And I know the whole line is going to be 180. So 180 minus 120 degrees gives me 60 degrees. And are there any shapes that have an angle of 60 degrees? Well, there are two. I could use the rhombus or I could use the triangle. I'm going to use another triangle and just slot that in there. And so I know my number sentence would be 60 degrees plus 60 degrees plus 60 degrees. Now, you could have used different shapes. And so that's okay. You can do some trial and error, put the shapes together, see if you get 180 degrees. If not, you can change one out and try a different option. There are a whole bunch of different ways to get this answer. Now let's just quickly take a look at this one. This time my degrees need to add up to 90 degrees. So if we just look at this right now, I see who remembers what these little squares in the corner mean? You're right, they mean that it's a right angle or 90 degrees. So I could just use my square right there. Or I could combine two different shapes. So 120 degrees is too big. Maybe we could try 60. So 90 minus 60 gives me 30. So I need to do a 60 degree angle and a 30 degree angle. So I could do the rhombus and then one of these much more slender rhombi. I've got 30 degrees plus 60 degrees. And that gives me 90 degrees.